Starting a new book. Exciting, right? You read the reviews, maybe you joined the hype going on YouTube, and you purchased it, put into your library. So everything is ready. Cup of tea? Check. Music mix? Check. Reading chair? Check. Smartphone for social media posts? Perhaps. Now it comes to the hard part. Turning the first page, or in our universe, hitting the play. Merhaba, Kemal here. Identify as blind and for sure in love with audiobooks. And obviously English is my second language. I know it's the hardest thing to do. Hitting the play button and finishing the first chapter. Reading books, always a matter of commitment. But here we're talking about the reading a book in English. It can be even trickier. Will you understand a thing? Does the accent is clear enough? Or does the vocabulary is accessible? And you start struggling with your thoughts, you lose the concentration, then you hit the pause button. Then maybe you start doom scrolling. I don't know. Hold on, it's a journey. And just like any other journey or quest, you have to pack smart. You might forget one or two things, maybe the phone charger or a moisture mask, I don't know. But you need to make sure that you got the essentials with you. As foreign English speakers, we all are in a journey of mastering the language and building a habit. So, I have 12 entry points for you. Each of them has their own pros and cons and their own beauties. Some of them are more challenging, some of them are a bit longer, though accessible. So I got two tiers. Tier 1 is more accessible, and Tier 2, though still accessible, kind of a bit deep dive. If you want to play the game on Hard Plus mode, you know what to do. Pick a book most pleases you and don't look back. For the mortals, let's start with the Tier 1, shall we? 1. Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. Plot: simply a young genius goes to a military school with the other young geniuses. You might already know the part of the story just because it's a well-known sci-fi novel, or also there's the movie as well. This novel both recognized with the Hugo and Nebula Awards. What a record. The style of the author is really great. He used to be a theater script writer, so the book is really dialogue heavy. Most of the things delivered by the conversation, which is great for us. It's an easy peasy read. The narration is clear. The audiobook production is good enough. Little bit reverby though. But if it clicks with you, I also suggest to go to the sequel, The Speaker for the Dead. I think it's great. 2. Merhaba Diaries by Martha Wells. What can I tell you? It's just great. The plot simply is there's a rock security unit which has its freedom, but all it wants to do is watching soap operas. It's that great. So as a sci-fi fan, I'm kind of a bit biased here, but it's a really great starting point. There are 8 titles now. Most of them are novella, so you can start and finish each of them like in one set. The language is pretty straightforward. First-person view, conversation heavy. There are some IT terms though, but nothing to worry about. It's easy to get from the context. Somebody might think it's too simple, but I think 1, it's a great starting point. 2, I think it's a great sci-fi / space opera series, and the SEC unit is just great. I'm biased here. About the audiobook production, Kevin R. Free, the narrator, has done a great job. One thing though, something bothered me about the high frequencies, but it's me being the audio nerd here, nothing to worry about. 3. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. No need to tell anything here. You have a towel and you're hitchhiking in the galaxy, and you have a guide as well. So what else would you need? Just pick it and start reading it. Don't forget to hit the pause button when you laugh out loud. The British humor might be a little bit tricky time to time, but I think it's simple enough. It was the second book I ever tried to read in English, and it was a delight. Just pick it and start. Nothing can go wrong here. Let's move to the fantasy. 4. The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, Mistborn Era 1. If I may quote Brandon Sanderson here, think it like this. Think Lord of the Rings. Imagine Frodo make all the way through the Mordor to destroy the ring, and when he finally arrives, Sauron pops up and take the ring from him and say, "Hey, I've been looking for that, buddy. Thank you." It's like that. Actually, it's the title that make me enter to the fantasy universe. I tried a couple of titles before and I couldn't make it because of that archaic language, dense sentence structure, even though I really wanted to get into that genre. Thanks to my AI reading coach, you can check my video about it. I purchased The Final Empire. I decided to try it and it was just great. Language is straightforward, pacing is really fast. The use of archaic language is pretty low, maybe even none. One warning though, you can get easily attached to the series, so you can end up like finishing all 3 titles in a row, like 20 to 30 hours for each title. Be warned. Audiobook production is great. Narrator, I think, has done a good job here. So I think it's a great starting point. 5. The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. For the people who just born yesterday, here's the plot. There's a quest, there are dwarves, there's a wizard, and of course there's a dragon. And because there are dwarves, there's a treasure as well. The narrator is infamous Andy Serkis. Need I tell you anything about him and his talent? So just pick it and start it. Yeah, about the language. This is the first title J.R.R. Tolkien has written in this universe, and it's a children's book. It's designed as a children's book, even though the story is great. Yes, vocabulary a little bit more dense to, for example, Mistborn, but it's easy enough to read. Yep, I'm an escapist, but let's shift the mood, shall we? I also like a great crime or detective novel, and what can be more iconic than Reacher? 6. The Killing Floor by Lee Child. It's a great crime novel. It's like Reacher. To the point, direct, short sentences. It's an easy read, even though the book is really long. The pace is awesome. One thing though, it didn't click with me very much. Maybe it's just too real. Maybe it's just too Americana for my taste. But it's still great. I couldn't stop reading it. It's a real page turner. The audiobook production is fine enough. Nothing special. I think it's a great entry point to the crime or detective genre. Sometimes you need something cozy, like a homemade cookie or a cup of tea. I have something perfect for you. 7. A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. The plot? An old man always wants to do things right, and his neighbors won't let him. Isn't this great? Actually, I first listened a speech of Frederick Bachman, and I was like, oh, he would have been my best friend. So there's no way that I wouldn't try A Man Called Ove. The movie was great as well. Language is, I think, simple enough. There's no unnecessarily complex structures or unnecessarily complex jokes. It's just like Frederick Bachman. Just great. Just makes you smile all the time. You already have a good TBR. But if you'd like to crank the level up a little bit, I have tier 2 for you. Let's call it the deep dive. Requires more concentration, but these are also great titles. 8. The Old Man's War by John Scalzi. Plot? In the future, only seniors join the military. The vocabulary is a little bit more complicated than the tier 1 titles, but still the language is straightforward. Most of the time it's conversation heavy and delivered from the first person perspective. Yes, it's witty and there are some military terms as well, but still I think it sits at the middle of tier 1 and tier 2. The accent of the narrator is pretty clear American accent, and the audiobook production is really great. John Scalzi is considered as one of the great modern sci-fi authors of these years, of our age. I think it's really worth to try. Speaking of the golden age, 9. Dune by Frank Herbert. Arrakis, spies, noble families, political games. It's the whole package. It's a masterpiece and one of the greatest examples of the genre crossover of sci-fi and fantasy. Though the language is dense. It's the most complex book in this entire list, but I think it's still doable because it's not as dense as the Book of New Sun or Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, according to my AI reading coach. You can watch the video, but it's a challenge. It's long, requires a decent amount of concentration and help of the digital dictionary. Yeah, you will need that. In terms of audio production, that's the other thing. The production is bad. There's a weird reverb or echo always going on. I think they did that on purpose, but it's not working with me. Without horror and without King of the Horror, Stephen King, this video would be a complete waste of time because we are on YouTube. 10. Salem's Lot by Stephen King. The plot, a little town, a haunted house, and the vampires. I personally not that into the vampire thingy, but this book is an exception. It's considered as one of the greatest vampire novels after Dracula, and it's really scary. Not that scary, but really scary. Vocabulary is a little bit complex. You need to get used to Stephen King's style, but when you get used to it, it will be fine. When you hear the first sentence, there's no way back. You will finish it. Believe me. All right. You want something from Earth? You want it back to normal? I have something for you. 11. The Lincoln Lawyer by Michael Connolly. The plot: crime attorney Mickey Haller and his office is his Lincoln town car. There are lots of law terms, but if you watched Suits before, you will be fine. The sentence structure not that dense. The audio production is a little bit genre specific. It has that over compressed voiceover mix, And he said, get ready. That kind of sound, which I not like too much personally, but I understand that somebody likes it. That esports voice, get ready, and Mickey Haller gets down. I don't know. And the Mickey Haller started the engine of the car. The car roared. Kinda tires me after a while, but again, because of the Michael Connolly, it's a page turner. I kinda like the TV series, and Mickey Haller, I kinda invested a little bit, so I think it was a great journey with Mickey. I saved the best for the last. 12. November 22nd, 63. 11/22/63 by Stephen King. The plot: JFK assassination, time travel, and 50s of America. This is the greatest book that I ever read in 2025. That was the best read for me, and I think it will have its place in my all-time top 10 thingy if I ever have one at some point. Yes, it's long, chunky. Yes, there are many Americana references. A little bit too Americana time to time, but not that much. But hidden inside, there's the greatest love story. There were tears on my cheeks at the very end of the book. Audiobook-wise, the Craig Wasson, the narrator, has done a great job. Production is fine enough. There's that noise hiss thingy in the most of the Stephen King novels. I don't know why, but there's that. I think it's because of the preamps or mics they're using. It's just me being the audio nerd again. Craig Wasson has done a great job. Really helps you to connect with the protagonist. Don't be scared. Just try. Trust me. That's all. These are my picks to entering to the audiobook universe in English. These are the books that made my path. Have you ever tried any of these? Do you have other suggestions? Share me down below. I would be more than happy to discover new titles. Like, subscribe, ding the bell, find all the buttons and win a golden star? Not really. Being idiot again. Sorry. Until the next time. Keep listening.